What is crack-a-lackin', everybody? This is Like It's 1985. This is my review of Transformers Animated Supreme Class Rollout Command Optimus Prime. This is a large figure both in the vehicle form here that you see before you, as well as in the robot mode. So here we see Prime in his vehicle mode. And yes, there goes the lightning sounds. So I think as you roll forward, you can see that lights up the headlights, makes that sound. You also have these clear translucent plastic here that actually has the lights as well for the sirens. If you press this button here. And this button here does the voice.
Let's go.
Okay, enough of that. As you can see, the weapon, the axe, is stored in the vehicle form. There's actually a slot in tabs, and it just kind of fits between the legs of what would become the robot mode. But you can see there, it just stores in there. Let me go ahead and release that weapon. Just going to untab these sides just for a second here, as we detach the legs. Now these legs are tabbed together pretty securely, so both removing them or splitting them apart as well as putting them together requires a lot of force. So just be aware of that. There we go. And let me reset the weapon here and show you what it does for its gimmick. So as you can see here, you have the axe, and there's a button right here. When you press that, what happens is, ba-bam! You got the flame back here, the blade here on the front, pretty cool. And just to reset it, everything goes back in like that, in there like that, and there we go. So weapon, pretty cool. So transformation for this guy does have a auto gimmick where this top half will partially transform, and I have to say and warn you that really it didn't work too well for me off camera, except for once or twice. So if it fails on camera, that's why. So I do apologize for that. Let me go ahead and start from the beginning here. So what you would do is you do want to reattach these here for the demonstration. So let me go ahead and do that. Go. There is a lever right here at the front. When it's over here to the right, the actual vehicle can roll freely without actually trying to move the top portion of the cab, which will activate the automorph. And that's what we want to do, so we're going to slide that to the left there. Frees up this to roll around. What it's supposed to do as you roll it forward to a certain length, it will actually spin around several times, and the arms will come out of here, the head will come out of here, this will lift up. So let's try it out here. Hopefully it'll work. If it doesn't, then I'll have to kind of just kind of fudge it a little bit and just get it going. So let's see here. Roll it forward. There we go. It worked. You can see it spun around. And it'll keep spinning around, but it's quiet you. So as you can see, it does partially expose the arms here on the side, the head, and the panel comes up here, revealing the head. The rest of it you do yourself. So let me go ahead and start with the legs. By the way, the speaker's right here, and I'm not sure why it's being so finicky with the sounds going off. But anyways, you want to untab the front wheel here on both sides. Split the legs. Again, it requires a lot of force. These back tires fold in to the inside of the leg. Now these come down here, and they will actually tab in place. Like that, actually, sorry. So you got one leg looking like that. That comes down there. Apologize if some of this is out of frame, but it's yeah, it's a big figure. You want to bring up the feet like that. And let me go ahead and straighten out the legs. You can see there. Now, moving up top, you can see they're partially transformed. Here's the shoulders. Bring these out. Around here. We need to spin this around a little more. That's right, roll out. So apparently I didn't let it spin enough rotations because it gradually frees up the shoulders so they come forward. You can see I was having difficulty with that. Hands are right here and right here. So you got those. This bit here, there's nothing you can do with it. It just hangs off like that. And there is rollout command Optimus Prime in robot mode. So on his midsection, on his waist, he does have this this kibble here. This is what was the front bumper for vehicle form, and also how it houses the electronics. The batteries actually you can replace here. You can see the 2 screws. You can take those out and replace. Looks like there's 2 AA batteries. So he does have a bit of a waist, a little bit of junk in the trunk there. So there is that, but it's a pretty cool figure. It's a big figure. Let me go ahead and bring in Robots in Disguise, Transformers Prime Voyager class, Optimus Prime. And you can see there the size difference on that. So, as far as the weapon goes, you will notice that actually on the insides of both hands, there's actually this notch right there and right there, if you can make that out. And that corresponds to the way that the weapon fits into the hand. Now, on the right hand, which I'm putting the weapon in right now, there's actually a gimmick where if you move the arm up, kind of makes a blade going through the air sound. Now that I didn't know he did. I actually didn't. Interesting. He actually says something after like the 3rd swing. Haha. So the other arm, it doesn't have that feature. So if you were to put the axe into this hand here, it does not have the trigger inside the electronics to actually make that blade sound. But you do have this gimmick that they advertise where you push down in here and he has like punching action, you know, like that. That's kind of lame, but you know, it is what it is. Lights and sounds for robot mode. Let's take a look. His mouthpiece actually does move. So as we take a look at that, press the Autobot symbol.
My name is Optimus Prime. Bring it on. My name is Optimus Prime. Bring it on. My name is Optimus Prime.
So he basically only has 2 phrases in robot mode, as far as I can tell. So articulation on this guy, let's see. There is no neck articulation at all due to the way that it automorphs transforming. Shoulders, you kind of have shoulders like this, but again, this is hampered by the gimmick. You can actually bend the arm, or you should be able to, kind of like that, as you can see. This one actually, now that I look at it, this actually has a joint here on the right arm, whereas on this arm it has the gimmick with the punching, so you don't really have articulation on the left arm as you would over here, like that. Simple joint there. Waist articulation, again, that's due to the gimmick, but you do have that. Legs, forward, back, out to the side, bend at the knee, and that is the sum and total of articulation for this figure. Yes. Okay, so what do I think of this figure? Well, I actually unboxed this figure. I had this in mint and sealed box for a few years now. I bought it a few years ago, and recently I've been watching the Transformers animated show, and so I was inspired to review this. Also, due to the fact that this figure I have tried and listed on eBay several times to sell, nobody wanted, nobody was really even interested in buying it. So finally, decided to take it out of the package and review it, and it's a pretty cool figure and pretty large figure. I think the kids would like it. It's just that some of the way that you transform it, like with the legs, as I mentioned before, to actually get those together or separated, does require a little bit of force. And the automorph for the top part of the robot mode, for me it was hit and miss. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't, but really it actually, for me anyways, did not work more times than it actually worked. So there is that, at least with my figure or the way that I'm using this toy. So there you go. Alright, well, thanks for watching. This has been a review of Transformers Animated Supreme Class Rollout Command Optimus Prime.